Hey guys, what's up? I'm Erin and welcome back to the channel. Social Security decisions can feel overwhelming, but they don't have to be. In this video, I want to cut through the confusion and explain spousal and survivor benefits and how they work together, and more importantly, how you can transition between the two to maximize your monthly payments. Whether you're claiming benefits on yourself, on a current spouse, or even an ex-spouse, hopefully this can serve as a guide to help you confidently plan your future. I do have dedicated videos to both the topic of spousal benefits as well as survivor benefits if you're looking for a deep dive into either of those topics, and I'll link them above and down below if you're interested in checking them out. But as for today, think of this as a bridge video, connecting the two topics and how you can transition between the two if life throws some unexpected changes your way. Spousal benefits are payments provided to the current or former spouse of a worker who is eligible for Social Security benefits. These benefits are designed to provide financial support to spouses who may not have worked enough to claim their own Social Security benefit, or to spouses whose benefit is significantly lower than their partner's. If you wait until your full retirement age to claim, you are eligible for up to 50% of your spouse's benefit at full retirement age. If you claim early at 62, you are eligible for 35% of your spouse's benefit at full retirement age. And each year you delay, the amount you are eligible for increases up to that 50% mark. Worth keeping in mind, spousal benefits do not increase past your full retirement age. And worth mentioning for ex-spouses, in order to be eligible for spousal benefits on your ex-spouse's claim, you must have been married for 10 consecutive years and presently be unmarried. Also worth keeping in mind, you don't have to contact your ex-spouse in order to file for benefits on their claim. Simply contact the SSA. To give a quick example, let's say Frank is entitled to a $2,000 monthly benefit at his full retirement age. His wife, Sue, if she waited until her full retirement age to claim spousal benefits, would be eligible for $1,000. If she claims early at the age of 62, she would receive a monthly benefit of $700. Survivor benefits are Social Security payments provided to the widow, widower, or dependents of a deceased worker who paid into Social Security. For the purposes of this video, we're going to be focusing on the benefits paid to the widow or widower. In most cases, the earliest you can claim survivor benefits is 60 years old. Again, keep in mind that claiming early results in reduced benefits. Claiming at the age of 60 entitles you to 71.5% of the deceased worker's benefit at full retirement age. And if the widow or widower waits until their full retirement age to claim, they would be entitled to 100% of the deceased worker's benefit at full retirement age. There's no benefit to waiting past full retirement age to claim on survivor benefits because survivor benefits are not subject to delayed retirement credits. And also a word for ex-spouses, assuming you were married for 10 consecutive years, if your ex-spouse passes away, you would be eligible to claim survivor benefits on their record. If you remarry prior to the age of 60, you lose your eligibility for survivor benefits. However, if you remarry after the age of 60, you would still be entitled to survivor benefits. Let's do another example, using Frank and Sue again. Remember that Frank is entitled to a $2,000 monthly benefit at his full retirement age. If Frank were to pass away, Sue would be entitled to 100% of Frank's benefit as a survivor's benefit at her full retirement age. If she were to claim early, her benefit would be reduced accordingly. So now that we have that extensive groundwork laid for Frank and Sue, let's discuss some scenarios of how Sue might transition from spousal to survivor benefits in the event of Frank's passing. Let's say that Sue claims spousal benefits at the age of 62. So here she would receive a monthly benefit amount of $700. We're also going to assume that Frank waited until his full retirement age to claim on his own benefits. If Frank passes away at any point between when Sue is 62 years old and her full retirement age, Sue will have the option to switch from spousal benefits to survivor benefits. Survivor benefits will ultimately be greater than spousal benefits. Because remember, spousal benefits can be up to 50% of the worker's benefit at full retirement age, whereas survivor benefits can be up to 100% of the deceased worker's benefit at full retirement age. And just because Sue has the option to switch from spousal benefits to survivor benefits in the event of Frank's passing, doesn't mean she has to. In fact, there could be very good reason for her to continue receiving spousal benefits and wait until her full retirement age to claim survivor benefits, because once she claims at full retirement age, she would be eligible to 100% of Frank's benefit. It's important to note that the reduction in spousal benefits, if you happen to claim those early, in no way influences your survivor benefits. The calculation for survivor benefits is calculated completely independently based on the age you claim those. It's a common misconception that if you claim spousal benefits early, that this would lead to a reduction in your survivor benefits when you eventually claim those. But the two are not related. Spousal benefits are calculated on the age at which you claim those, and survivor benefits are calculated independently on the age at which you claim those. If Frank passes away at any point after Sue reaches her full retirement age, there would be no incentive for Sue to delay claiming survivor benefits. Once Sue reaches her full retirement age, she is entitled to 100% of Frank's benefit at his full retirement age, and that will always be larger than her spousal benefit amount regardless of when she began claiming, so she will want to switch over to survivor benefits. Let's take a look at Frank's Social Security benefits that would be available to him depending on when he claimed, for each age from 62 to 70. If Frank claims his own Social Security early, he receives a reduced benefit, and if he waits to claim, he receives an increased benefit. This is true of all Social Security recipients, but one overlooked thing is survivor benefits. When Frank decides to claim his own benefit will affect the benefit his survivor is entitled to on survivor benefits if he passes away before his spouse. In our previous example, we had assumed that Frank waited until his full retirement age to claim Social Security. Instead, now let's assume that Frank claims Social Security early at the age of 62. Which means that he would receive $1,400 as a monthly benefit. If your spouse had already been claiming Social Security benefits at the time of their death, and in this case had been claiming early, receiving a reduced benefit, this would affect their survivor benefit. Their survivor benefit would then be based on the amount they are actually receiving, this reduced amount, rather than the benefit they would have otherwise received at full retirement age. So now let's assume that Frank passes away. Instead of $2,000 a month, the benefit he would have been entitled to at full retirement age being treated as 100% of his benefit for the survivor, instead 100% of his benefit is going to be the amount he was actually receiving. In this case, $1,400 a month. And by standard Social Security rules, these are what the numbers would look like if Sue were to then claim survivor benefits in the event of Frank's passing. And you can see, it looks like survivor benefits take quite a hit. But there is a safeguard that Social Security has in place that we need to talk about, and that is the minimum guarantee. And the simplest explanation for the minimum guarantee is if the deceased spouse claimed early and reduced their benefit, the surviving spouse is guaranteed at least 82.5% of the deceased benefit amount at full retirement age, even if the survivor claims early. So with that in mind, what is 82.5% of Frank's benefit at full retirement age? It's $1,650 a month. So if we look at Sue's potential benefits that we had calculated before, we can see that this $1,650 a month exceeds all of the numbers listed. So in this situation, regardless of the age at which Sue claims, she would be entitled to $1,650 a month because this minimum guarantee would kick in. The minimum guarantee protects a survivor from being penalized twice. Once from their spouse claiming their own benefits early, and then again if they themselves decide to claim survivor benefits early. In the situation of Sue's example, if her benefit at any point would have been higher than the minimum guarantee, she would have received that higher amount. Let's do one more example, and this time let's assume that Frank delayed claiming until the age of 70. At this point, Frank would be receiving $2,480 a month. Now again, we're going to assume that Frank passes away, and now his survivor benefit is going to be based on the amount that he was actually receiving at the time of his death. So the amount he was receiving, that $2,480 a month, is going to be looked at as 100% of the survivor's benefit. So with this in mind, if Sue were to claim early at the age of 60, her survivor benefit would be $1,773 per month. And if she waited all the way until her full retirement age to claim, she would be entitled to 100% of the benefit that Frank was receiving, the $2,480 a month. The big takeaway here is that when Sue decides to claim and when Frank decides to claim on his own benefit have a big impact on the amount that Sue would be entitled to receive as a survivor's benefit in the event of Frank's passing. And something really important to keep in mind is that age plays a huge role in all of this. For instance, in our last example, if Frank had delayed until the age of 70 to claim Social Security benefits and was receiving that benefit of $2,480 a month, if he and Sue had been the exact same age, once he passed, she would be immediately entitled to this benefit amount. However, if she had been significantly younger than Frank, say she was only 62, she would have to wait until her full retirement age in order to receive that amount. There are so many different possibilities that can be played out, and my hope is that by talking about some of these possibilities broadly and talking about some of the nuances of Social Security that can come into play through examples, that you can take this information and more easily apply it to your personal situation. What do you think about Social Security, spousal, and survivor benefits? Have you considered them when it comes to your retirement planning? Leave your thoughts in a comment down below. I post new videos every single week. If you got anything at all out of this one, please give it a like. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, or if you know of someone who might get something out of this type of content, please consider sharing. I'll see you soon. Bye. So as you plan for your retirement, make sure that you do nothing. We're doing nothing. Don't plan for your retirement. Just wing it. Hopefully this can help to serve as a guide to help you. Said help twice. It's very windy out there. I'm not sure if you can hear it. It's making me nervous. I need you to stop that. It would be substantially lower than their, I was gonna say partners. Somebody will chop my head off for that. Spouses. Good luck to you on this one. You'll see why. There's a lot of tables. I'm sorry, but this is gonna be a good one. I'm sorry though.